This is the 5th video in a 5-part video series on how doing it yourself DIY is a bad strategy for creating a life with passion, purpose, and prosperity. In this video, I'm talking about how self-reliance is not the same thing as doing it yourself. So Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay, Self-Reliance, is probably my favorite thing ever written by anyone ever. It's just awesome. I mean, it's like kind of old school. You got to read it slowly. It's like fine wine or fine coffee. You want to sip it. You want to take your time with it. But it's awesome. I will link it down below. You can find it for free online. But just read it. It's great. Here's the thing, though. Some of you may, if you've known about self-reliance and how great it is, you may think, well, DIY is self-reliance. But no, it's not. It's different. So doing it yourself for me is about the outer world. What do I mean by that? The outer world is everything that happens outside of your skin. Business, relationships, interactions with other people, projects that you're doing, anything that happens outside of your skin, essentially, is the outer world. Self-reliance is about the inner world. It's about the stuff that happens inside your skin. It's about your thoughts, your feelings, your attention, your acts of will, your acceptance, your graciousness, your gratitude, your decisiveness or indecisiveness. This is all the stuff that happens inside your skin, right? And your thinking, your feeling. That's where self-reliance shows up. And so the thing is people who lack self-reliance will try to compensate for it by doing self-reliance in the outer world. Well, taking up a do-it-yourself approach. Because I'm not willing to decide for myself on the inside, because I'm not willing to accept things, because I'm not willing to, referencing the early video, the first video, make decisions and commit to myself and have integrity with myself, because I'm not willing to be that self-reliant from the inside my skin, let me try to make it look like I am to myself from the outside. If I'm doing that there in the physical thing in the outside of my skin world, then I am self-reliant, right? No, you're faking it to yourself. It's not actually happening. And so what you really want is inner DIY. Inner DIY is self-reliance. And this is, for me, this is the ultimate, right? Is to be so self-reliant inside, to be so comfortable with myself, to be so, to have so much integrity with myself, to be so committed within myself, to be so decisive, to be so aware of my thoughts and feelings, and to be so vehement in my beliefs and be so willing to speak the words that I feel in my heart and that I hear inside my own mind, be able to share my feelings, to be so vulnerable, inner DIY, that I am self-reliant inside my skin, that I don't need to go out into the world and to fake it until it looks like it to myself and I can trick myself into thinking that I am. And you know, they have the fake it till you make it thing. I haven't seen it work. If you do lots of stuff on your own outside, I haven't seen that absorb back through the skin from the outside in. It works most powerfully from the inside out. But here's the thing. It's funny because the more self-reliant you become, the more okay you become with yourself, you could say, the more willing you are to say, I am who I am in this moment and that's okay with me, the less you actually do it yourself on the outside. The more self-reliant you are, the less you DIY. So really what you want is to connect with the powerful self-reliance. Now you might be thinking back to my first video where I said, we are weaker alone, you're weaker alone. So isn't the solution really to be self-reliant, not to go and engage other people? Well, I like to talk about folding the steel, right? And so the first thing is you want to be able to still engage with other people and find yourself becoming stronger. But the point is, acknowledge when you're doing it out of fear, out of a potential to create, out of your love for something that you want to build. Am I trying to DIY because I'm afraid that if I don't, I'm not good enough? Remember I talked about that. Or is it because I really genuinely see that with this, doing it with other people, I can create more? Now, I started with that point that you're weaker alone because I really want to challenge you to, like I said, go deep and figure out what's the real reasons why you're trying to do it yourself. For me, the reality is there's always a little bit of fear in there. It's like mastery. You can get really, really close, but never 100%. And so find and root out the fear. Engage other people in the places you're afraid, and then check in with yourself if that was fear. Well, how next time will I be more self-reliant on the inside so that I do or do not do stuff with other people on the outside, but not from a place of needing to because I'm not okay if I don't. I know this concept at the end here is quite philosophical, conceptual, but it's actually the most important. So if you have any questions about this subtlety, about self-reliance versus DIY, please leave your questions down below, and I will try to give a little bit more clarity to the explanation, to the idea. Getting the difference between these two is fundamental. DIY inside your skin, and you won't need to on the outside. And then, self-reliance is going to make you much more effective in creating a life of passion, purpose, and prosperity. You just move with more grace through the world, you act with more congruence and coherence. People are more likely to want to connect with you, linking in the other thing about the video about connectivity in this series. Self-reliance is king. Much love. So if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. I put up new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also, if you like this video, share it with your friends. Facebook it, tweet it, whatever you do. And of course, down below in the comments is where the best discussion happens. It's where the best ideas come from, because your questions elicit new questions from me, and we get to dialogue, and it gets so much more interesting. So leave your comments down below. And lastly, if you want to learn more about creating a life of passion, purpose, and prosperity, hit up my website. Much love.